Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC. I got a really interesting one to share with you today. This is the Tuch Knives Click. Woo! Well, all right. First of all, I think I'm saying the name right. Tuch Tuch Knives. I saw this logo and it had me. I'm a big proponent of kind of hidden messages in logos, and that is part of their logo that they have. It is pretty stinking cool. The story, Tuch Knives, they already are custom makers and they make automatic knives, and they've been doing it for many, many years and learned from the best in the business. It was founded by William Tuch and also his son, Eric. So you have the father and son duo, which is pretty cool, which is why you have that logo. So man, that kind of touches my heart because you got a father and son duo doing something that they love and building a business that is pretty stinking cool. And then when they put out something like this, that just tops it all off. So what is this? This is the Tuch Knives Click. And I gotta tell you, we're gonna get into it. This is a bit of engineering magistry. Don't worry about my hands. I was just doing some heat treating. So what do we have? We have a titanium. I can't wait to get into this one. So hold on, I'm pulling off the Met. So this is the handle is stonewashed titanium. So you have all titanium, and you're looking at it, and you might be like, "Well, that looks kind of thick for such a small little knife," and you would be right. But there's a reason for that, and you're about to find out. So you got a titanium clip done very well, nice single screw. It fits well in the pocket. There are no hot spots on it. It's done very well. You have nice contouring for the handle, which makes it very comfortable. Nice shape, nice big back spacer. That might be part of what we're going to talk about. There's a lot of little details that you should be seeing that maybe you don't see right off the bat. But man, this thing is really stinking cool. It is a frame lock, and again, they hid their logo very nice. You have the little opening hole, which is great for deployment. You're able to flick the knife open very well. Nice blade shape. You have a nice tip, a nice little belly, hand satin finish on the blade, and it's done very well, or belt satin, I'm sorry. And this is Magna Cut. So you have a Magna Cut steel blade, titanium frame lock-ish, because there's a lot of other things going on with this that maybe you know, maybe you don't know. There is no sharpening choil, so you have that blade that it comes down here where the plunge is. So the plunge comes down, and then you get into the sharpened edge. So that's interesting. Definitely something custom makers do. Nice thin edge, and it is very, very slicey. And unfortunately, I learned the hard way. You just don't hand this knife to somebody, because I handed this to somebody who's not really used to handling knives, and they did get bit, but that was totally on me. So I had to apologize profusely. But very comfortable in the hand. Everything is rounded off, smooth. For such a tiny little knife, I'm still able to get 3.5 to 4 fingers on this. Your thumb comes up here right on the top of where that opening hole is. And again, that nice little Magna Cut blade is going to serve you very, very well. And I said it is a frame lock with a steel insert, done very well. You can get in there. I wish there was a little bit more access in here, a little bit more champering in this area to unlock it, but it is very nice. And once you get past the detent, it just falls shut. So again, reverse flicking is very easy. Again, falls shut, just a little shake. I can thumb flick, even for a small knife, you can do it. And I'm not having any issues getting stuck on the bar, on the lock at all. So it's a very, very comfortable, very, very cool. But there's something interesting about this, and this gets into the engineering of this blade that is actually pretty stinking cool, because this is actually a double action knife. What do I mean by that? Well, it's also an automatic. So it's actually an out the side automatic. And now when I go to unlock it, it is loose. It is very loose here. There's no give, no nothing until you get to about right there. And then it's like an assisted knife where you actually have to push it closed to click it in. But here's where the magic comes. That was auto. I clicked it in, and now I can go back to manual and just look. No effort at all. Goes right back to manual mode. Huh? What? How? That? It's just mind-boggling to see how they did that. And I would love to take this knife apart and to check it. But this is in the pass-around group, so I don't want to get into that because God knows I will probably not be able to put it back together. So what kind of magic is this? So it is an auto. How did I do that auto? So what you do is you get your thumb here and you push up on the actual scale. So I'm pushing the scale up. So I push the scale up, and that actually opens the knife. So you can see how that has that action, and that's how you activate the automatic mode. And then once you reset it, then you can go right back to manual mode without any issues. How are they doing this? I have no idea, but it's really stinking cool. So they came up with the engineering and OEM'd by Bestech. So Bestech is OEMing this knife and following all those specs, and I gotta tell you, they did it really, really well. And that kind of explains why such a small knife is kind of a thick handle, because you can see this scale is kind of split going down the middle, and I'm sure that's where all the locking mechanisms and springs and everything else is hidden for that auto action. Also, that is where the scale slides. So on this side is where the auto is, and then this side is where you have the regular lock. So man, I don't know what you guys think about that, but that is just an amazing feat of accomplishment, in my opinion. To be able to fit all of that into such a small knife is such a really cool thing. And I have heard through the grapevine that they are making a larger version of this knife, which would be pretty cool, even though I like this version as it is. Nice small little package. So to make this a little, like, I could go a little bit bigger and be okay, but I'm sure they're probably going to make it a 3.5-inch blade, which, to be honest with you, yeah, it would be pretty stinking cool. I tell you that much. But what a cool knife! It just blows me away. It's like wizardry at its best. I mean, to be able to just go from here to be like, oh yeah, well there you go, and then lock it back in, and then go right back to fiddling with it with regular. Oh, so stinking cool. So I am on their website right now, trying to check these out. It looks like they are still available. Now you have MagnaCut, full titanium, and all that dual action that I've been talking to you about. And on their website right now, this is a $404 knife. So take all of those things into consideration. OEM'd by Bestech. You have the frame lock. All the hardware is stainless steel. You have the 3D milled titanium and the stonewashed titanium handles, the belt satin MagnaCut. The blade length is 2.7 inches, and the overall length is 6.4 inches. So let's check out some size comparisons. It is not a big knife, so here it is against the Rat 2. You can see the Rat 2 is larger than this. And let me see, let me dig out my Civivi Elementum. Again, you see that this is a very small little package. I think if they made it to the specs of this size, it would be absolutely perfect in my opinion. But some people might want even a little bit bigger. But I like it in the size that it is. Actually, it's such a cool little knife. And sometimes doing all this dual action in a smaller version is probably harder than doing it in a little bit bigger version. So I find that a little interesting as well. And then here it is versus the Para 3, just because that is what I always use as a size comparison. Again, very, very small, tight little package compared to that. But man, I don't know, guys. This is really stinking cool, and I love the story behind a father and son doing their passion, bringing it to life, and bringing quality product to us. I don't see how you go wrong with that. So I really love this thing, the Tuch Knives Click. And I apologize ahead of time if I'm not saying that name right, but how would you say it? I don't know. So anyway, I hope you guys appreciate this one. This one was really stinking cool. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.